Heyo.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great. And yourself?
Great, man.
Yeah, busy obviously, and like life has
Got
its ups and downs and being a parent and stuff, but overall it's great, you know what I mean?
for sure. Just got a little guy to bed a little bit ago. How's
Uh,
Leon doing?
he's doing well. He is asleep. Or well, he's in bed, so he's getting there. So, but he's doing well. But I took him downtown to Big J's to get his haircut this afternoon, and then we picked up some airliner and brought it home because half price pizza on Tuesdays.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So,
What's the haircut experience like for him? Does he like that?
uh, he he just moved a lot. Like he's ticklish, so like. I'll. That's one time where it's like, okay, you want to like watch something on my phone, so he'll just like not move his head so much. But he likes it. He likes Jay, the bartender, or the barber, and there's like some cool lights on the outside, and there's a bunch of like sports memorabilia. So he had a good time whenever he's there.
That's so sweet. Yeah, we haven't taken little guy Winston for a haircut yet, but he's just rocking the bowl right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. The bull's awesome. Yeah, yeah. We waited a long time to get Leon's haircut because he had long hair for a while, and
Flowtastic.
Yeah, yeah, just the flow, but it just was like taking Katrina such a long time to go through whatever week he can get all the knots out and wash it and stuff. So it's like let's get him like a new cut. Let's mix it up. So this is his second haircut that he's gotten.
That's so sweet. That rocks.
So yeah, just try to balance everything. It's probably like the hardest part, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like trying to balance like your family life with friends, with like health and like work life, just all that.
For sure. For sure, for sure. Yeah, it definitely feels like uh treading water for me.
Oh yeah, how are things going so far? I know for me the first like year and a half was just so crazy.
Overall good. Like we just having a ball with the little dude. He's like very curious, very independent. Like he's obviously not talking yet, but he'll like communicate. Like like he makes it known when he wants and doesn't want stuff or how he wants things
Oh,
to be. So it's very sweet. He has very clear preferences, and yeah, we just have a lot of fun with him. Kind of like the weeks feel like a sprint, and then the weekends we kind of just like catch our breath and restore, relax. But yeah, he's doing daycare. He's very social. He like loves daycare.
oh yeah. Could he there? How often he there? Five days?
Yeah, we're doing like 5 full days, but he loves it.
Nice, that's
Like,
awesome.
and we have a lot of fun on the weekends with him. But it's almost like Sunday night. He's like, okay, like I'm ready to ready to see my people.
Yep, yeah. So was it hard to find a place?
We got super lucky. It was hard, and Claire just like made magic happen. She like found this great place that had no spots. And when she came to look at the house we're now living in before we moved, she literally like drove over to the daycare. She had like already like called and talked with the daycare person a lot, but just kind of like drove over unannounced, like knocked on the door, was like, "Hey, I'm here." Like built the relationship, like snagged a spot for the following school year, and then we ended up moving. It like all worked out perfect. But we got very very lucky. It was like we definitely Claire definitely finessed like a backdoor into like some random final slot that I don't think we're supposed to have. So super appreciate her.
Dude, that's awesome. And yeah, like that's what you have to do that in life. It's just like there's a social aspect to everything that people forget.
For sure. Yeah, so we're
Oh,
really happy with it. Like it's like a daycare starting really young, but goes up till like second grade. It's like a Montessori, and so
oh,
yeah, it's like good vibes, good energy. Really like
oh,
his
that's
teachers.
sweet. Nice. Yeah, yeah. That's just got to feel so good. Just knowing this room is like a good safe spot because we really like the place that Leon goes to, and it's just such a just like thought, just stress off your shoulders. I feel like
For sure. How far is it from where you live?
probably like a 10 minute drive. It's like right across from Kennick, just down the street a little bit
Oh,
more,
nice.
and we live by the mall, so not
Uh-huh.
far.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
perfect.
so it's an easy hike over there. And then my parents watch them twice a week.
Man,
So
shout out.
yeah, that's
Shout out to
been
mom and dad.
clutch. Man, I feel yeah, we're so lucky just having them around is such a game changer. I think about that so much.
That's awesome.
Oh, but yeah, but like yourself, how are you feeling? Because I know like do you even think about that if that makes sense, or they're all just like happening?
Yeah, really appreciate the question. I think I'm doing good. I have not, I don't feel too, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like before Winston got here, I felt almost like positively detached or something. Like, like I felt connected to people, like it was life, but like I felt like a detachment that felt good, where it was like I was kind of in flow. And now I like don't feel as detached. I feel like very on. Like I'm very like tuned in and plugged in with little man. Uh, like very plugged in. Uh, so in some ways I'm like it's better. I feel like more in the present, like less in my head. Like when I'm with him, it's just like I've got to be with him, and it's really positive. But no, I think I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah,
put words to it, but
yeah. I keep thinking on it. Can I just ask? Because I remember the first year was so just like just dialed in and just hanging out with Leon that you focus so much on like the family and just like the routine that I kind of like forgot about like just doing other stuff, and I
hmm
didn't even realize that I missed it until someone like mentioned it, and it was like, oh yeah, I need to
uh-huh,
go like just get out still and like see people,
uh-huh,
do that kind of stuff.
for sure.
So yeah, so just a
Yeah, I feel
little
like you're
heads
catching
up
me
as well.
right at the end of year one, where I'm probably right in that spot you were in, where it's like it's probably like a good time to like pull it for air.
Yeah, you got to.
I do love New Year's just from like it feels like a clean sheet of paper in the notebook. So
Hmm.
your helpful prompts and then like New Year's coming up, just like end of year, new year, fresh start, like maybe that can be a good time to kind of reconnect with some of those things.
Oh yeah, and so I even think like obviously like the more people want to like hang out and like have time to the better. But even like twice a month, like realistically, like with kids, like just going out, just like hanging out, is awesome. And you're so busy that it feels like it comes up quick. You know what I mean?
100%.
So
Yeah, one
yeah,
thing we found with Winston is like he loves action. It's not like he might like we might be having like a chill weekend day, midday, afternoon, later in the day. Like it almost is like he's getting kind of cranky, and then we'll go do something, and he like lights up. Like he loves it. Like he just likes action. He likes people. So he's a good push also just to like go do stuff. We've been doing swimming lessons with him at the YMCA. He loves it.
oh,
Like we'll walk down and yeah, just that like that experience of like seeing people and interacting. Like he likes the action.
oh nice. So he's not shy at all.
No, he'll like if it's a big group, he'll be a little shy at first, but he like settles right in.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, Leon's pretty shy at first, but then it just kind of depends. Like at the barber, like he didn't say much, but then he's like, "Hey, you want a sucker? What color is it? Red. Red. Yes, I'll take one, please." And then like just couldn't like talk. So a little selective, but I don't know.
That's sweet. He's good at managing energy. It sounds like.
Mm, yeah, it's a little. Yeah, it's a little too much almost. I still say things like, "Mom, can you stop talking?" And okay, Dad, just go. We're done with books. Go downstairs now. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I definitely got a little too, but not to be expected. Hmm. What are you doing for work up there? Are you working?
So I'm still working with Rural Opportunity Institute in North Carolina.
Oh,
Uh,
okay,
yeah,
because that's
yeah.
okay. No, no,
So
no.
I'm working remote. Kind of a post-COVID world. It hasn't felt like too much of a shift. Like pre-COVID with the nonprofit, we were all in person, and then post-COVID, we went remote just by necessity, and then it just kind of stuck around. So even though a lot of the work is like in community in North Carolina, uh, the it's I've just like settled more and more into like a Zoom lifestyle. So I'm
Oh,
on
that's
a lot of calls all day and computer work. But yeah, working
that,
remote. I could only very grateful that I'm still able to like do the work because moving was a lot. It's just a big lift. So grateful that
yeah.
like work was kind of a constant or a consistent thing.
Yeah, can that make me happy too? Because when you were in North Carolina, the first thing I thought about was like your job was like the pull there in my eyes. I thought, but like I wasn't even sure. So like, oh man, like I wonder what he's up to, or like I hope he found another thing. And what is your position and like what do you do? Like just a refresher for everybody and
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me as well.
100%. So I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of Rural Opportunity Institute. Big shout out to Vici. She's my partner in crime, co-founder, co-CEO with her. But yeah, we're both former teachers. So I was a former high school special education teacher, and we started Rural Opportunity Institute in 2017. And our mission is to help organizations become more trauma informed. So we want to help organizations like interrupt these cycles of generational trauma. And there might be different, these big T traumas like abuse, neglect, natural disaster that can really impact us individually. And then that trauma can get passed down from like generation to generation. And there's a lot of really hopeful science. Like the science is so hopeful uh, that we can heal. The body is wired to heal. The brain is wired to heal. But a lot of those promising practices are like not the way we do things, especially in like public agencies like school, law enforcement, healthcare. And so the work is like a lot of often it's like a translation role. Like how do we take work with scientists and experts and like the best evidence-based stuff that's out there and translate that into what does that mean in a classroom setting in a school, or what does that mean in a county jail and law enforcement, or what does that mean in like a local county court system, or what does that mean in a health department. So like these all these public agencies are set up to like hold and support people, and often people are experiencing a lot of trauma, like a lot of stress, a lot of trauma, and so we exist to help public agencies become more trauma informed.
Ooh, and I didn't know that you started this.
Yeah, yeah. So it started. It was honestly. It started as a project, and then it just kept snowballing in a positive way. So Vici and I were high school teachers in rural North Carolina. Independent of one another, we both ended up out in Oakland and San Francisco in California. So I followed Claire, my now wife. Claire got a job opportunity out in Oakland. Vici was a Microsoft engineer by training. So she actually like after teaching worked in the Bay Area for Microsoft. And so we like had this teaching experience, ended up independent of each other in the Bay. And then we really got to know the like education technology community out there. So like a lot of the most of the technology that is used in schools in America comes from Silicon Valley, like south of San Francisco. And it's just a very like open, accessible community. Like they have a bunch of happy hours. There's like a bunch of if you're like there, you can just show up and meet people. So Vici and I basically did that for a couple of years in the Bay Area, and we just like got to know people. We were really inspired by like the resources. Like there was all this money out there. We were really inspired by like the culture of innovation of like people seeing a problem and then being like, "Hey, how do I solve this?" But it felt so disconnected from the schools we taught in rural North Carolina. Like it just felt like night and day, like literally a separate world from Bay Area to rural North Carolina. And so the seed of ROI was how do we take like these innovation or problem solving methodologies we learned out here and how do we do them in the places that we were lucky enough to teach in. And so we got a seed grant, literally like a 3 month small seed grant in 2017. And that was like the start of the work. And it started as like a project, like let's just do this project, see what happens. And then in a positive way, it like just keeps rolling.
Yo, that's so crazy. Like I had no idea. Like when you just said that like you worked on the thing. One, it's so cool that like you never mentioned that like, oh, I just like created this business. You're like, oh yeah, I work for this thing. So I just assumed like, oh, he worked for this nonprofit. So you were out there like in Silicon Valley like networking and just like just yeah, just networking with uh people and just doing the thing.
Yeah, and really like when we were living out in Oakland and San Francisco, we weren't actually like executing on anything. It was just relationship building. Like so we were going to these happy hours, we were meeting other people who were starting or who had started companies. We were meeting like funders and everyone in between. And so we were just kind of like getting the lay of the land. And then really technical, like it sounds jargony, but the two things that we learned out there, one was human-centered design, which was it's just kind of buzzwords for like listen to people before you build stuff, but it's like a series of like activities and basically like ways you can interview. It's like how do you better understand your customer? And the idea is like the people who better understand their customer, who they exist to serve, will win. So it's like how do you better empathize with your user? How do you better empathize with your customer? Understand their pain points and then build solutions that like directly solve their pain point. So that was like this world of human centered design that we learned out there. And then Vinci's an engineer, so we learned about systems thinking and systems mapping. And that was like this engineering process where it's basically like storytelling, but you take people's stories, turn them into feedback loops where you can start to like see the patterns, and then you put all these stories together. So it's kind of like human centered design is like the micro, like it helps you understand an individual person. And then systems
Mhm.
mapping helps you understand like the bigger picture, like the bigger system you exist within. And so we like learned these problem solving methodologies, and we were like, yeah, we're seeing like they're really impactful. Like we both were working in jobs where when an organization has resource and spends time better understanding their users or better understanding their customers, it like directly leads to insights that directly lead to like better outcomes. So we were pretty bought in from like doing it in other jobs and other stuff we were working on out there. And the seed of the idea was like, how do we take these problem solving methodologies and how do we do these processes like in the communities we taught in?
Mhm.
And yeah, it was just like we got really lucky. Like one person took a chance on us, and they have a charitable foundation, and they gave us like a 3 month seed grant where they were like, "Hey, I don't really understand like where this is going to lead to, but I like trust that you guys will be good stewards of this resource and like work hard, and hopefully something good will come of it." Uh, and then there was a really forward thinking school district in rural North Carolina near where we had both taught. So it's basically like rural North Carolina is like a big area, and there was basically a county in between the two school districts that we had each taught in. And it was
Mhm.
they had like a very progressive, forward-thinking superintendent, and then they had a really progressive sheriff, and they still do, Sheriff Clee Atkinson. But like the sheriff and the superintendent were younger, like very progressive in terms of those jobs, and they were like, we want as much innovation energy as possible. Like, how can we figure out new ways of doing things? How can we figure out, in the school's case, how can we figure out better ways to serve kids? In the sheriff's case, how can we figure out better ways to serve community? And so it's like their leadership, huge credit to them. But that was the community or like the place. And then just one funder gave us 3 months of resource. And in the initial process, we like did a bunch of listening, like human centered design, where we would literally like interview parents, interview kids, interview people who worked in public agencies and Department of Social Services, health department, law enforcement, schools. And what kept coming up again and again was like stories of trauma. So it was like stories of there had been a big hurricane a couple years before that people still hadn't recovered from. There, might be high rates of substance misuse, like high rates of drug usage. low economic opportunity. So there was like a lot of unaddressed trauma, and people were talking about it. It kept kind of bubbling up as like, this is the thing we're seeing every day in our jobs, but we don't really have resources to deal with it, or we don't know what to do about it. And so that was like this 3 month listening process, which actually turned into like a year listening process. We like got the privilege of just getting to like do a bunch of community engagement for a year before we actually like started executing on stuff. And the North Star that came out of that was like, how it was defined in our community was, how do we be less punitive? So what came out of all these conversations was like, when people are struggling, like when kids are struggling in school, when adults are struggling at work, our most dominant reaction is like punishment. Like, hey, let's like kick the kid out of school and suspend or expel them. Let's like fire the person from work. And long term, that doesn't actually solve anything. Like that kid just bounces around and like never actually gets the support they need, and they take a lot of resource at every place they bounce through. And so the North Star was like, how do we be less punitive and how do we be more restorative? So like when people are experiencing trauma, how can we meet that in a different way? How can we get people support? How can we get people resources? How can we support healing? um, and so that was like the start of it. And then the first really big intervention was like this training program where we had a network of people who became certified trainers. So there's like 20 plus leaders in our community, people who've been there for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
pastors, social workers, teachers, people who work in local government, early childhood. Like it's a very diverse group. One of our lead trainers worked in the prisons for 20 years, but basically they have these really deep life experiences, and then they have a bunch of like strengths, and they learn this evidence-based curriculum that's basically teaching you like what is the science of stress and trauma in your body and in your brain, like what happens when we're in trauma, what happens when we're in stress. And it's like putting on a new pair of glasses. Like when you better understand yourself, you can better understand the people you work with. And it's like a new pair of glasses that helps you shift how you're seeing behavior. So before you're like, oh, someone's just like making a bad choice, they don't care, they're not motivated, they don't want it. And when you start to understand the science of like how stress and trauma impacts the body and brain, you start to shift and you're like, oh, there is trapped energy in their nervous system, and there is not a way, like a healthy way to get that out right now. And so it is manifesting and showing up in all these unhealthy ways. It's showing up in substance misuse to cope with like unmanaged stress. It's showing up with like aggression or violence or conflict. Like it's showing up in all these different ways, but the root is like stress or trauma. So it gives you like an ability to be a little more compassionate and be like, oh, like how can we give people a second chance? How can we get them new ways to process stress, process trauma? So that was like the kind of long starting process of doing this big listening work. And then the first intervention was like this big training program where this group of 20 trained like tens of thousands of people. Like I think to date, like over 50,000 people have been trained in this curriculum of like, this is how stress impacts the body and brain. And here's some starting points of like what you can do about it.
And that's what you're teaching these people who are training the people.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Kind of.
our role has been like, find the experts and get the resource and then kind of like arrange and connect it all together.
Oh,
So like
okay.
Vici and I are not the world experts on like how stress and trauma impacts your nervous system, but we've been really lucky to find some people who are the experts. And so it's basically like finding the local leaders,
And
finding experts who can share stuff, and then finding resource. Like our job is to go find the resource, and then we try to put all that together, and then that's kind of like where the magic happens.
okay, yeah. So you're kind of like just bringing everything like in the same room. You're getting all the ingredients together.
Yeah, and
Ooh,
then
that's
that's kind of like the foundation of everything. So we always have this like core training work that's going on. But then when people go through the training, there's like a now what? Hey, I have this new information about how my nervous system works. I have this information about how the people I work with, like what's going on in their bodies, what's going on in their brains. But now what? And so the second part of the work is we have like a suite of interventions. Like we're up to maybe 8 or 9 different interventions that we can support people to do. And like to be really specific, like one is, it's called biofeedback breathing. It sounds really complicated, but it's really simple. I think I have one sitting right here, but it's similar to a headphone, but it like clips onto your ear or your finger, and it measures your heart rate variability. So it literally measures the state of your autonomic nervous system. It's the same technology in like an Apple Watch or in an Aura Ring or any of these like health trackers, but it's specifically telling you the level of stress in your nervous system. And then it's a meditation intervention. So right now, the people who use this are like athletes, like the Alabama football team. Everyone on Alabama football does this every day before practice. Uh, Olympic athletes use it. Anyone who's like trying to optimize their performance uses it. And so we're
Yeah.
making it available in like a community setting. So like literally at a middle school where kids, a group of kids who are frequently suspended, now get to start their day going to a homeroom where they do this biofeedback breathing, and they plug into a laptop. They're watching their breathing in real time. They're seeing the state of their nervous system. It's not doing anything to them. It's just telling them in real time like what's happening when they meditate. And then it's pretty simple. But if they are given a space to breathe and meditate for 10+ minutes a morning, like they're
Yeah.
less stressed. They have a better day. There's less behavioral issues.
That's
They have
amazing.
better like academic outcomes. So that's like one of the like 9 or 10 interventions. But so basically, that's like the two sides of the house. Like first side is like, hey, let's do training, let's do awareness building, let's do knowledge building, and it's kind of like a funnel. It's like a ton of people go through training, and then there's like some champions who emerge who are like, I'm really passionate about this. I really want to take this further. And then the second side of the house is these different interventions to become more trauma informed. Like, what can you do inside your four walls of a classroom, of a law enforcement agency, of a healthcare agency? Like, how can you start to translate this science? And then that's like where we come in. Like, we can help you set up pilots. You can pilot a bunch of new practices. We can help you track data on what works and what doesn't work. And then we can help you institutionalize the things that work. So, like, when things work, how do we, if it works in one classroom, how do you spread it to more classrooms? If it works, it's how do we get it into beyond like one charismatic leader? And so that's kind of like the two sides of the work to date.
Ew. I love all that, and that's so important. And I was talking to Kylie like maybe a month ago, and she was talking about a lot of just helping with trauma in classrooms and stuff too. So it's awesome to hear. It's just it comes up a lot because I mean it's everything. It's like your brain. It's your operating system.
100%. And the
Yeah, and
science is so hopeful. Like, it's really hopeful.
ew, yeah, and it's awesome that you've been saying oh crap, I just lost the word. Neuro what's the thing called? You're like your whole system.
Biofeedback.
No, but it measures how much
Oh, heart
stress
rate
your
variability.
nervous system. Your nervous
Nervous
system.
system. Nervous
Yeah,
system.
because I listen to Huberman Labs, and he talks
Uh-huh.
about the Huberman
Uh-huh.
system like all the time. So like,
Uh-huh.
and I'm listening to an episode right now about just like addictions and habits and stuff. So it's just all of it is just like the most important thing. Like, so it's just awesome that it keeps on popping up, and that's what you're doing too. So very, very
100%. And like the specifically with the addiction piece, like often an addiction is a solution or like a coping behavior. So to
Mhm.
say it concretely, like if like when we were doing these community engagement interviews or like using human centered design, there were stories we would hear where people would share about their own experiences or people like loved ones or people they worked with, people in their families, where it's like someone experienced something really hard and traumatic. Like maybe they were physically abused as a kid, or maybe they were sexually assaulted, or like some really big T, capital T trauma that they never got support on. And that literally those traumatic experiences over time, and the more they happen and the more frequently they happen, it's literally like trapped energy in your body, and it is changing the nervous system and the brain. And it's not like there's anything wrong with you or deficient. The body is actually like wired to protect you. Like the body is wired to keep you safe, but the cost of keeping you safe is that your nervous system is like often always on high alert. And so when you're up, when you're amped up, when you're on high alert, you're like trying to always stay safe. It's just not sustainable. Like it's like driving your car with the gas pedal down to the floor and never stopping for a break or never getting gas. And what can happen is substances can be a solution for coping with like that unaddressed trauma. And it might not even be conscious.
Mhm.
Like it's not like a conscious thing. Like you're not sitting there being like, I want to use this substance to like solve this thing. It's just like there is this energy in your nervous system that's trapped, and the body is trying to cope with it as best it can. And so like there's just a really clear line with addiction there sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, that stuff is so interesting too, and how it's like the phone and gambling and like video games. There's so many things that could be addicting, or even like exercise and
Hmm.
like the good things that you can get addicted to as well. Dude, so you said that you found one person who was wanting to do the investment or the three month run. How many people do you think that you talked to? And did you know what you were trying to accomplish?
No, we were pitching. That was the other thing. Like, usually the pitch for nonprofit work or like social impact work is like, hey, uh, we have this reading program, and if you fund this, like, we're gonna do tutoring with kids every day after school for a year, and like, they're gonna improve one grade in reading. So, like, if you want to help kids improve a grade in reading, invest in this nonprofit. And that's a really good pitch, and like, we should do that. And what we were pitching people on is we have a process that we learned with this human centered design and the systems mapping where it's like we're going to listen to community members, and whatever they say the biggest unmet need is, we're going to design solutions for it. And people were like, what are you talking about? So like, what's the actual intervention? And we'd be like, well, like we're not hiding anything from you, but like we don't know what the intervention is yet because we haven't done the community engagement work yet. Like we can't tell you what the needs are. Like we can't
Yeah.
tell you what people are going to say. And sometimes people fairly be like, are you like messing with me? Like, are you like, are you trying to like pull my leg on this? Uh, but yeah, so it was like to everyone else's credit, it was like a very confusing pitch. But the pitch was, we have learned this process to do community engagement, and we want to do it in the communities we taught in, and we think it will lead to something positive, but we can't tell you what that is because we haven't done the community engagement yet. But take a jump and let's see what happens.
No, no, I love that because like you you feel that that's what needs to be done. Like I feel like there's a sense that many people have like, man, people just, especially like teachers, police, like they're just not getting like the support that they need, and it seems like it's obvious, and it's like this could be like betterly supported. So
For
so the
sure.
fact you're like, we're gonna see what they need, like we're not sure, like makes sense. Like, oh yeah, like it seems kind of crazy, but it's like, oh yeah, that's what needs to be done.
Yeah, so just very grateful for that first grant. We talked, I mean, I have to go back and look, but it was a lot. It was a classic story of like you talk to a lot of people and everyone says no, and then you get really lucky and one person says yes. But it's just like those
Mhm.
classic like rejection stories of uh I had done the last like detail on the bridge was living with Claire out in Oakland, San Francisco, and we after being out there for a few years, we moved to North Carolina. I did like a 3 month summer like fellowship program. And so I built a ton of relationships over that summer 3 months. Like I got to meet a bunch of people, I got to know a bunch of people. And then basically I like turned around and like asked everyone I had met that summer for funding or connections to people who might offer funding to do this kind of nonprofit work. And super grateful for that like summer fellowship program. But everyone said no. Like everyone was like, I don't really know what you're talking about, and like come back to us when you have something specific, more specific than like we're gonna listen to people. And so that was like a fair response. And then we just got very lucky, and this one group said yes.
No, yeah, yeah. So I just want to sit in that for a sec because it's important. So you did your summer program. You met all these people. You moved back, and then you came back and asked from like, hey, grant this thing, like fund this. That's, I don't know anyone who's would do that. Like would have like the courage to like to go out and be like, hey, let's fund this thing, and especially that everyone said no, and then you kept going too. like that's really just like impressive, and I feel like that's important for people to hear that like you gotta take big swings.
Yeah, and it like never feels good in the moment, and it only makes sense looking backwards, and it only sounds good looking backwards. Like
Hmm.
uh, in the moment, like it doesn't sound good or make sense to anyone, including myself. It's
Right.
like, wait, you're like, there's like you should be getting like, here's a job you could do, or like, here's this, like, what are you talking about? Like, you just keep meeting with people and they keep telling you no, like, isn't that kind of a sign that you should like do something else? And like huge credit and shout out to Vici because I think it was a classic thing of like I think it's probably true for both of us, but like just speaking for me, like I wouldn't have done it on my own. So there's something about like finding someone where you can like kind of go through that rejection together. I think was like really positive, or just like you just keep going. Where I think I would have not. I don't think it would have got off the ground if I wasn't doing it with her from the start. Like it was very helpful to like have another person, and just like huge gratitude and credit to her.
Oh no, yeah, having a partner, teammate is big, or even like something just like a sidekick type role to
Uh-huh.
just keep you motivated too is huge. Um, yeah,
And then
that's
also
a
obviously
lot of.
to give huge credit to like the one charitable group that gave that first 3 month grant. Like if we wouldn't have met them and they wouldn't have said yes, like it's kind of weird to say, but like not like at some point I would have had to like go get a job. Like uh so huge gratitude to them also because yeah, like they're the reason the story is that the work got started.
No, no, that's awesome. And one thing that I do that helps me when I'm having like a misstep or something in real time is I just pretend that this is a scene from the movie made about me, but I'm watching it in like the past. Because the
Dude,
other
that's
day I went
awesome.
to yeah, and it works well because the other day I went to a business to pitch like doing some marketing, and I just felt so like rushed and nervous, and then I forgot what like the product that they sold was called in like the middle of like the pitch, and then I just essentially like, well, if you ever want to like just make something happen, call me. Just left, and then I'm within my car like, oh my god, that was not good. Like if that was a scene in a movie, that would be so funny type shit. You know what I mean? And then it's like,
Man, that,
yeah, it happens. It's just a good scene. It's a good story I got now.
yeah, that's so wise. That's so wise and I love it. It's like almost just the wisdom to it's like if we can take a long enough view, it's easier to like endure stuff. And also I'm just right there with you of like it was just like a process of stumbling through all this and still is every day. But like it wasn't like we were knocking out those early pitches. Like it was like uncomfortable, painful, like people would ask very simple, very basic questions and we would just like crumble because we didn't have answers and we didn't know what we were talking about. And like so like how much will it cost? Ah, that's a good question. I don't know. Like how that
Yeah, how
how
much do
would
you want to give us? How much you
how
got?
specific how specific like okay I'll give you if I gave you X how specifically would you use it and what would you prioritize this over that and like
Like,
yeah
whoa,
so
enough of questions. Ew.
yeah just totally agreeing with you of like we fumbled so much and it was almost like that's I don't know how to describe it. It only makes sense going backwards. It only makes sense when you like look at the
Yeah.
movie in the past. But like all those things were then sharpening us. Like we clearly weren't deserving of resource or like didn't have good answers. But every time we like fell on our face, that was a chance to be like, oh, we got to like figure that out. We got to figure that out. We got to figure out that. And eventually there was like enough of a straw man to be like, this person like took a chance on us.
Right, no, yeah. And that's how it's always happens too. I feel like that's all that's how it always happens. What's a quote like the urge to quit is greatest right before you're about to succeed. It's
Yeah, and
like
there's that image like that game Dig Dug where you like dig into the ground. There's that
yeah.
image where it's like animated, but it's someone like who's dug a huge tunnel and then they're like giving up and turning around, but there was like gold right on the other side. but they've like
Hmm.
been digging and digging for years, and it's like not fruitful and not going anywhere. And then it's like you never know like when you're close to it.
No, right, exactly. Like you never know, because that's what's so hard too. Is like you never know, but you have a feeling. But when you're doing it, like it's extra time. It's extra just like it's like you don't know if it's gonna amount to anything, but you still hope that it is, so you're still gonna go after it. Like it's yeah, it's So then when something does like when you do get a win like that, it's gotta feel like just so good. Just like oh okay, like this is something.
For sure. Yeah, this is maybe a weird analogy because you know that I don't do drugs, but it feels like it's like that first high you'll never get back. Like it just like feels amazing. Like uh
Yeah.
yeah, if yeah.
No, well, just congrats, man. Like that's so cool. Like I'm glad like we got to talk like more like the actual like oh like this is like a way bigger thing than I thought. Oh, like he works for a nonprofit or something. Oh no, he did this whole thing. What are you doing? The is your company on the interweb? I know you're not on the interweb much.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
your
so
what?
ruralopportunity.org, and on there
Okay.
specific like to talk really specifically, we have free virtual trainings that people can sign up for. And then we have these simple, one set is like breathing exercises, and the other set we call them resilience skills, but they're like body based or somatic body based skills to like help balance your nervous system. And we have them, they can be like flashcards that you can like kind of have for yourself, or they can be posters you can like put on the wall. You could picture like a school
Mhm.
or a clinic. But those are if you go to the website, and I can send you a link to them. But there's just like
Wait,
breathing.
I see you. I'm on the website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, ruralopportunity.org. And if you
Let's
click like build resilience at your organization, you can sign up for a free virtual training. You can under there. There's like breathing cards, resilience cards. Um, there's information about that biofeedback breathing program that I was sharing about.
hell yeah, man. Oh, okay. I gotta go to the. Oh yeah, go to the IG. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Awesome, man. Time to get this added. Yeah, and yeah, we should talk sometime just to if you want to make content or get some thumbnails or just some stuff for your
Yeah,
socials. I would love to help with that.
sounds great.
Dude, this
Yeah,
is
it's not my strength, so we'll take any help we can get.
Dude, oh, man, this is so cool. I'm like giddy right now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's linked on the website, but if you go to YouTube and type in Rural Opportunity Institute, we have
Uh-huh.
a pretty deep set of like testimonial videos where it's like different training programs or different interventions we've done in the past. Like the biofeedback breathing, you can like see testimonial videos of people talking about their experience doing it.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, and I can clip these up. And who does your page? Cause I can invite you to a collab, and they will do well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Jada is currently does our social media.
All right, cool. Yeah, yeah. Once they're edited, they should be done tonight, and then I'll just I'll add her to a collab if she wants, and we can do a cool
Yeah.
uh thumbnail on it. Oh, like can you send me some pictures of like your logo and or headshots,
Yeah, for sure. I'll
please?
send you
Just
logo
wherever
headshots, and then I have
you
some like random B-roll stuff of just like around the
Oh,
community.
okay, yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Do you watch Detroiters? Have you talked about this? I think I asked you this.
Yeah, yeah. I love Little Bro, you, Lucas, and Officer Zavi are like my four like Tim Robinson people.
All Okay, yeah. Could like Detroit is. I mean, like you got to. You live there.
He holds it
Dude,
down. He's like
there-
total local legend.
yeah, yeah. Him and Sam. Oh, they're so funny. Yeah. Yeah. What are you up to this? There's just not enough time in the day anymore. You know, with kids.
For
Cause like
sure.
man, it's not. We gotta get to bed, but like I mean, I could do like another 4 hours type shit. You know.
For
Um.
sure.
Yeah. You want to do a part two in like this September, January?
Yeah. Would love
Because
to. Would love to.
yeah, because I still want to ask about like Detroit, Starberries, the Stack magazines that you would like flip or something, just so like it's more like high school stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, I'll go anywhere you want to go.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about the magazines. That was definitely that was real. That happened.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, he been doing just like this business like stuff for forever. So once you started talking about this, I was like, of course, like this makes the most sense. And it just like you being you would come up with some system to help people with their trauma and make like the community a better place. It's just like so on brand. So
Oh, thanks,
shout
man.
out,
That's a
man. This
really
is awesome.
really nice compliment. Yeah, I mean at the core there aren't deficits in people, but there are deficits in the systems around us. And there's like very clear deficits in like the traumas that have happened to us. And so, yeah, I just like find it all to be super hopeful that the worst things that have happened to us individually or collectively don't really define us. And at its worst, those traumas can kind of like destroy us. But at our best, those traumas can actually be like post traumatic growth and they can like be our gifts. And yeah, I know that maybe sounds a little more poetic, but like the science also shows that just we are wired to heal and we are wired to connect. And so when we are not healing or we're not connecting, that's like there's like a block. And often it's not like a moral deficiency, like there's not something wrong with us, but there like there are better ways to heal, and every year we're learning more and more science. And honestly, a lot of it is rooted in like more ancient cultures. Like there are indigenous cultures and ancient cultures around the world who have figured out ways to heal trauma for thousands of years. And it's like Western science is like just starting to catch on or catch up. And like Huberman, like all this stuff, like the science is really good, but it's in its early days. And in a positive sense, I think we're kind of in the dark ages. And why that is positive is because it gets really good after the dark ages. Like if we look back on history, like dark ages were really tough. There were plagues, like it was bad. But then like stuff got way better in a lot of measurable ways, like money, jobs, health, lifespan. And I think when it comes to trauma and stress, we're kind of in the dark ages and hopefully coming out of them. Like to date, our solution to trauma has been like, don't talk about it. Like literally think of like our grandparents or great grandparents, like come back from war, like, oh, don't talk about it. Like really horrible, traumatic stuff, like bottle it all up, don't talk about it. And like that clearly didn't like go very well. And no knocks on anyone. Like everyone was doing the best they could with the tools they had. But I just think we're standing at a beginning starting line of like living in a way more trauma informed world where we have a better understanding of ourselves and our bodies and our brains and how they work. And then we can take care of ourselves and take care of each other better. And it's not really like a kumbaya vision, it's like a science vision. Like, so in the part two, I would love to talk about like the science of the autonomic nervous system and the brain and like all that kind of stuff.
Dude, yes, please. Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Oh, let's sneak part into before the end of the year.
Cool. Sounds great.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll
Appreciate you, man.
text you
Thanks
from
for the
Seth as
opportunity to
well.
talk.
Hey, yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. I had a blast, and it's Royal Opportunity Institute. I'll put a link in the bio. All right, peace,
Yeah,
man. Let's go get some sleep.
ruralopportunity.org. And appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go get some sleep. Dad stuff.
Love it. Sweet dreams.
So,